What's up, guys? So tonight I'm going to do a video of this beautiful knife right here. It's a triple Aught design collaboration with Kirby Lambert. And I've collected Kirby Lambert for quite some time, so I couldn't have been happier to be able to add this knife to my collection. And what makes this even more special, besides the fact that it's actually one of the best knives that I have in my collection, is the fact that I was able to purchase it via lottery win at G10 in Las Vegas. Which is kind of crazy because I entered a ton of lotteries. So in the 3 shows that I've been to, Solvang, Blade Show, and Las Vegas, I had not won a lottery for myself, meaning that this was the first and only lottery win that I've had where I put my name in a hat, dropped it in, and got pulled. And not only that, this lottery was actually pretty crazy. They had a Todd Rexford knife, and they had about, I would say, 9 or 10 other makers that made knives in a certain theme, which was a topographical map theme on the knives. And I would say, in my opinion, besides the Rexford, who obviously everybody wanted to win, this Kirby Lambert Extra Compact Dauntless was the second most desirable knife at the Triple Aught Design booth. So I think it's very fortuitous and very lucky that since I collect Kirby, and since I collect the Kirby TAD collaborations, that I was able to score that knife. Now, Kirby had nothing to do with it. The people at Triple Aught Design obviously had no idea who I was, so it was just complete random and amazing luck of the universe, and the universe just works out like this sometimes, that I was able to get this knife into my collection. Now, Triple Aught Design is a company, and I don't want to say a clothing company, so maybe they're a lifestyle company, but they make t-shirts, jackets, clothes, and they have a lot of collaborations with a lot of knife makers. Just about any knife maker you can name out there has most likely done some sort of collaboration with Triple Aught Design. So I think they're kind of a outdoors lifestyle brand, but they're very, very popular. They have probably their own following. I'm not super familiar with the company, but I do know that the USN forums has a Triple Aught Design section on there, so there must be a good amount of collectors. And I know that when they release collaborations, depending on the size and scope of the release, that they are very, very desirable. So the only other Triple Aught Design knife that I have in my collection that's not on the table here was a Rick Hinder XM18, which you know is a production knife. But the fact that they put a scale on there with these 3 bars on it, which is their logo, made this knife sell out in mere minutes. And if you go on their website now, they don't have anything available. So we'll talk about, you know, the collaborations that Kirby has done with Triple Aught Design in the past. I actually got this knife just because I collected Kirby Lambert snaps back in the day, and I just happened to get a Triple Aught Design knife. So when he released the Dauntless with the thumb stud opener, I did not pick up that knife. Now, again, I think that these sell out in mere minutes, or you have to get into a lottery. So it's not like I didn't buy one for a few hours. They're pretty much impossible to get anyway. But I didn't get one in the secondary. So out of the Kirby Lambert Triple Aught Design knives, it's the only knife that's not represented in my collection. But basically, it's this knife right here. That's a thumb stud opener versus the flipper. Now, just in the last few days, they released this knife right here with this configuration with the green micarta on it. So technically speaking, there are 2 extra compact Dauntlesses out there. And to my understanding, this is the compact Dauntless, and this was released in 2017, and they had made 10 of these. And this was released, I can't remember, but I'm guessing 2016 or maybe before. And again, they made 10 of these. And I picked this one up on the secondary. This one I picked up, a buddy of mine actually was lucky enough to win that, and I bought that from him. And this was released probably, I guess, in 2014, 2013, something like that. And again, there were 10 of them made. So there was a couple guys online that I knew had the entire collection of the Lambert thumb stud opener and these 3 right here, which at the time was the entire collection. But since then, Kirby's added 2 of the extra compact Dauntlesses, and this is the dressier of the 2. So I am super, super excited to own it. So let's just go over the other knives here real quick and get them off the table, and then we'll talk about the star of the show here. This is Kirby's Snap model. This is the full-size Dauntless flipper. This one has an amazing action on it. I love that double click. And this was my latest one, the compact Dauntless, which in my opinion is the most usable Dauntless and the best Dauntless that was built. And just to give you a size comparison on the compact Dauntless, let me pull out an Augustus here. And you can see that it's quite a bit smaller. And this extra compact is even smaller than that. This blade is coming in at 3 inches and even less for cutting area, which I'll show you, versus a full-size knife here. Okay, so let's take a look at this knife. And this knife cost $1,950 plus tax. Again, it was the only one that they had at the show. This piece of paper, they just, I don't know why I grabbed it, but they gave it to me and I grabbed it. And you can take a look here. It features a 3-inch Core Damasteel blade, zirconium bolsters, which Kirby does excellent zirconium bolsters, Carboquartz, and I will tell you right now, Kirby Lambert does the best Carboquartz out there. I have seen a lot of different Carboquartz, and Kirby's is absolutely my favorite. Over a titanium liner lock, and we have a milled zirconium clip, floating Damasteel backspacer, which really makes this knife, and copper pivot collar. And you can see the topographical map, which was the running theme for all of the knives. And they never hit their website, which is kind of a bummer, but you actually might be able to see 1 or 2 of the knives that are available. I mean that the details and specifications are still available on the website. Of course, the knives are all sold out. I believe that the other XC Lambert is on the website. They had a lottery for the one piece that they had, so one lucky person got the other one, but I think those details and pictures are actually up there if you want to check them out. But let's take a look at the belle of the ball here. You can see how gorgeous this white Carboquartz is. And actually a little bit different than the other zirconium that I have on my Lamberts. He put a nice shiny finish to this one. Gives it a really neat look. And the Damasteel here for the backspacer really just adds to the whole topographical theme to this, and you'll see when I pop the blade here. Look how gorgeous. I'm sorry we're getting washed out here. Look how gorgeous that knife looks. And this is the new Core Damasteel that they introduced at Blade Show. So this must be one of the very first knives that Kirby's used the Core Damasteel in. He did a great job. I've actually seen other ones where they don't get it done quite as nicely. I'm having a little reflectivity issue, but the etching is very dark, and this is pretty bright, the actual RWL34 core steel. And of course there you have the pivot and the collar. And when I got the knife, not to complain to Kirby, but I like snappier detents. And in fact, my favorite detent that he makes is, you can hear like a double click. Now this one you can't quite hear it, but he actually offered to take the knife back, and I took him up on it. And so that's why this video is a little bit later, since it took a little while to get it back from Canada. But he just basically increased the detent for me, and you can see now it has an amazing detent, and it really will not misfire. At the show, if you put your finger here and flick it down, of course it would fire, but if you put your finger here and went softly, it might have misfired, but you are not going to misfire this knife. This is lightning fast, and this knife will not misfire now. And it's just the perfect detent, just absolutely perfect action. Again, let's take a look at as compared to the full size here. You can see that it is quite a bit more compact. Even on the camera, it really doesn't even show up, but in the hand, it's quite a bit smaller. In fact, I believe that this is the smallest knife that Kirby Lambert has made, unless I'm mistaken, but this is even smaller than the Albatross, which is the same 3-inch blade length, but it's just the Albatross has much thicker blade stock, and the handle's much thicker. And this blade here, this is actually 3 full inches, so it's got much less of a cutting area because of that finger choil right there. So probably has 2.5 inch cutting area, and that's about it. But like I said, I've been playing with this all day since it got back, and I will tell you, it is mechanically just a beautiful knife. Amazing action, amazing feel. If you're kind of jumping on that small knife bandwagon right now, this is the knife to have. Unfortunately, he's only made this one, but actually I'm going to reach out to him to see if it's possible that he makes more of these extra compact Dauntlesses, because the Kirby Lambert Dauntlesses are the best Dauntlesses out there. I've handled a ton of them, and I would even put it up to a Rexford Dauntless. I just think that the way Kirby makes knives and his mechanics just really fit with the Dauntless design exceptionally well, and it really is a superb knife. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you have any questions, please reach out, and I hope to have a few more videos for you soon. All right, thanks guys, bye.